What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Bank Robber back with another video. Now, I have to apologize. I didn't do the weekly breakdown last Sunday. I was extremely busy, so it happens, right? But I got a trade breakdown for you guys that I took on GJ. Let me go back into the replay mode real fast and let me show you guys the trade that I took. Oh, so GJ obviously very bullish. I'm only looking for buys. Um, why am I only looking for buys? Well, they're more likely to play out. I'm also gonna give you guys a tip as of to where how you could have capitalized on the market this week. Um, if you know what you're looking for. Again, it's always the thing. Like if you know what you're looking for, do you know how to write the story? Start writing the story on the higher time frames, so then break it down on the lower time frames. But first, let me break down this trade, and then we can go into why you could have potentially got into shorts to come down into where we were today, back into this area of 200. I didn't get in them personally, but I could have if I didn't take the longs, and I was happy with them. Now, um, at this point of time, right, we have a breaker structure right here of this level breaking multiple structure zones, right? So now I'm just marking up my supports and paying attention around my support lines, right? Obviously, we have a support right here and a support right here. So if this support ends up failing, then I would potentially go for this. Now, if I break it down to the 30-minute time frame, I believe this was, or the 15, we're just gonna have to see, right? At this point of time, right? Oh, it's times 3. Let me slow it down a bit. Okay, at this point in time, I have an alarm set right here. I'm sleeping at this point, right? Let's just speed it up again because it's actually kind of slow. And at this point, I'm not even looking at the market. I don't care what it does. And here, whoa, I went too fast. I went too fast. Let me see if I could break it down right here, right? So I'm sleeping at this point here. My alarm goes off and I wake up. This is where everyone should go to work. This gray area, right? This will make you a better trader. This is not where you go to work unless it's in your plan. Well, go for it. It's not in mine, so I'm not even on the charts like that, right? That's why I have a alert set like here, right above my zone, so I can get to work when it gets into the zone. Let's speed it up to the one time and let's go for bar, and I can actually explain to you guys why I got in with this price action. So I'm paying attention to all of this, right? Now you kind of see how GJ created a support on the 15. Let me just make that just purple, just so you guys can, so it's more visual for you guys, right? So we created support right here. So if you break this support, what do you think that indicate? Or if you break this resistance, sorry, what do you think that's going to indicate? Well, look at the 30. The 30 is already rejecting. I don't know how much time is left on the 30, but look how much of a big rejection. You have the 50% in your zone, which is this blue line. And then you have this about to break support or resistance. Jesus. So, what do you think I did? As soon as I got an engulfing candle on the 15-minute time frame, I got in. My entry was right here. My stops, first I had them here for 35 pips. That was just to be safe, right? Obviously, when a trade goes in my way, I lock the trade down. Now, let me tell you guys my TP area and why. If you see these gray zones or these gray boxes on my chart, that's the Asian low and the Asian high. A lot of the times GJ will grab the Asian high, as you see here. Here it just barely missed, but it will make a run for it and then continue to the other side. It's not always like that, but I like to use these as take profit areas, especially if we are bullish. So you know there is a bunch of resting stop losses, liquidity, etc., up here. Once you see this, once you see the trade starting to move in your position, you start scooting your stop loss up, minimizing your risk. And at this stage of time, guys, look at the 1 hour time frame. You're already madly engulfed. At this point of time, you are at break even. The only thing you should be doing is going for your take profit at this time. If it comes back, you could decide either one or two things. You're going to hold it or you're going to close it, right? And then eventually my TP hit right to the T. And then I think it took a massive leak to the downside, right back to my zone. Now, that was my trade. Very simple, just price action based. And then also another entry which you could have done was just wait for the 30-minute to close. As you see this pin bar candle to the upside, you can get in at the break of the high, stops below, and then shoot your shot like this. Now, that's your trade. Now, it was a scalp. The risk reward was a bit shabby, but hey, it is what it is, right? I risked 2% on this. I got a 1.89, so you can do the math. That's about a 3-4% play, right? Plus, I also passed my funded account with this trade, so I didn't really need much. Now, let's break down on how you could have actually paid attention to the shorts more, right? This is extra. Let me skip to current time. Very important you guys do this, that you guys look for specific areas and ask yourself, why did it do that? Now, if you look at last week's candle was bearish, man. So there's actually not really looking for buys. Yes, it's safe, but you have to know where to look for buys at. You could have also paid attention to this right here on the higher time frame. It's always a higher time frame. And we're very bullish on GJ. Look at this. Look at this right here. Look what it's doing right here. We have one day for the weekly to close. What do you think it's gonna do? Right, it's a break and retest. We're gonna close, maybe close bearish, get another wick down, boom, close bullish, continue up, break and retest. Very simple. Higher time frames based, right? So enough of that yapping. Here on the weekly, you see your first candle, right? Very strong bearish candle. But after or sorry, very strong bullish candle. But after a bullish candle, you should expect this candle to continue higher, right? Like way higher. But it barely did that. It stopped at a certain area, right? Obviously, one of my sell zones again. Then there's one or two things that you have to pay attention to. It was the daily. The daily gave it all away. Let me tell you why. On Monday, you had this very big push. Now, I'm not going to lie. This was a very hard trade to get into. I didn't get in the trade even though it was in my zone. But I'm thinking like, okay, the market is bullish and I'm just going to look for buys to be safe. But I can tell you how to get in, right? What happens here? What do you have here? You have a resistance area. Yes, we pierce through, but we don't break above. The next day on Tuesday, you get your first, what is this? Higher high, higher low. We fail to make another higher high after the higher low is created. You should get a higher low or higher high, right? That is the only thing. If you go back to one of my very first videos, it says secret inside. This is what I talked about, but on the lower time frames. It's a 3-leg extension. Leg 1, leg 2, leg 3. Leg 3 fails, you come to the downside. You're supposed to break up. Higher low, break up, continue. Then you can pull back to any of these areas to then continue for that next leg. But it didn't do that. Now, very interesting day as well. Oh, and then also, sorry, on the weekly time frame, very important as well. We were not able to break the previous wick high, right? Market structure is also in the wicks, not just in higher highs and higher low, also in the wicks. If you look at a healthy trend, for example, look at the 1 hour here. I'm just going to use this example, right? Stops here, can't break the low, and continues, right? Breaking highs. Here it stops, consolidates, right? But still continuously breaking highs to continue to go higher. In a healthy trend, go back on the chart, look at the 4-hour time frame, look at the healthy trend, right? Use the lock and start drawing your lines, right? You're always breaking the high, but you're not breaking the low, right? You're always breaking the high. Here you break the low, but then you break the high again. If you're bullish, guys. Very simple. If you just trade with the trend, it's so much easier. All right. So, with that being said, 3-leg extension played out beautifully on the daily. We had stretch up we couldn't break, or stretch up we couldn't break. Now we're rejecting. What's next? Well, I don't know. We could, or one or two things, come back down, reject again to continue up, or we could open up tomorrow and then just shoot up, flip the weekly, and close as a weekly support. We don't know. Just wait, be patient, see what it wants to do. Me personally, I'm waiting to see how the weekly closes before I get into another trade. I made my money for the week. I'm happy. I'm out the markets, unbothered, right? So, with that being said, guys, if you stuck through the whole video, I appreciate it. I hope you learned something. I guarantee that you did. Um, if you want to learn how to trade like us, the link of the Discord is down below. My Instagram is also down below. Give it a follow, leave a like on this video, subscribe. Right, doesn't hurt anyone. Right, guys, have a beautiful rest of your week. It's your boy Bank Robber, and I'm out of here. Peace.